Hello, welcome. For the first time, episode 2 of Tales of the Shores. My name is Tel. This is Kel's the Mod and Sparty with me today to chat about the game's updates, and we have some guests today with world firsts as well, or close enough anyway. Kels, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I didn't already do this. But hi everybody, my name is Kels. I am a Twitch streamer over on Twitch. Doing the chef grind right now. So you might have seen me around. And yeah, I like to do a lot of cozy streams and stuff like that. And yeah.
Perfect. And Sparty?
Hey team, so Spotty MC here. I also stream on Twitch. I like to do challenge streams. So at the start of each stream, I do a skill of the day and 3 goals that I need to meet. If I don't get anything, I get punished on stream. I'm kind of a bit of a different vibe to Kel's. I am more of a crazy streamer, but we have a good time. We have a good time.
What does a punishment mean?
So what does a punishment mean? So I've got a wheel of misfortune. It's got 3 options. I've got spicy sauce, I've got waxing, or burpees. So it really depends. It's
That's
random and it
awful.
Yeah. And because it's fully random, so I never know what it's going to actually choose. Yesterday it picked blacksmithing, and I didn't have any ores in the bank, so that was fun. Yeah,
that's crazy. So you just have a stockpile of just wax.
yeah, legit. I have like a 40 pack just sitting on my desk that I'm like, I don't ever want to use you.
Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. Really appreciate it. It is your time, and everyone watching, it is your time as well. What are you guys doing right now? So I am working on Scout. I'm trying to get all my combats up to like roughly 100. I think that'll be done for combats, because then I can just basically have all the quests that come out in the future. I think that'll be a good point to do. What are you guys up to?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go first. So I am working on the cooking grind. So like 2 weeks ago, I was like rank 1295, and as of today, I'm rank 38. And I just like cooking a lot. And I went into it not really caring whether I got on the leaderboard or not. But then I saw the number go up, and I'm kind of a dopamine crackhead. Yeah. So I like to see the number continue to go up. And yeah, so I am now just cooking, and a lot of people have asked whether I'm going to keep going to 500. I don't know. Basically, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, you're at what, like 200 something?
226 right now.
Okay. What about you, Sparty?
So I'm also who isn't that plays this game, a dopamine addict. I've really fallen in love with raids because I get 2 levels for the price of 1. We don't talk about the fact that I don't get any gear or money from this, but at the same time, it's just the most AFK thing I can do while just hanging out with people.
Yeah, I do a lot of den raids when just editing and stuff like that, just because I can 2 clicks and then I can not pay attention to the video game that I like so much, which is weird, I guess, but I'm super into idle games, so that's kind of how the way I play it. I'm not very efficient despite making efficiency guides, so figure that one out, I guess. I just kind of tell people, here's what you can run with it. I don't really care, but if you want to drop experience potions on the ground and do that kind of shit, that's not me though.
Yeah, I do it if I have to, but I try to just enjoy the game for what it is.
Yeah, that's just the best way to do it. I think everyone's got different goals, and it's pretty highlighted, because every time I have someone on here, they're like, I'm chasing leaderboard, I'm doing this, I'm chasing quests. I did all the requirements for Lost and Found, and I haven't sat down and done the damn quest yet because I've just been so busy.
Fair enough.
We have a couple of updates that happened this past 2 weeks. We had our first major update as well. So if we cut over to there. Started with some pretty basic stuff. I don't know if you knew this, but the foraging passives used to give a bunch of different items at the same time. And it was weird. I didn't hate it, but yeah, like, so, like, for example, if you go in Hopeport, there's a scrap yard thing. That node used to give 4 different items every hour or so. And you could choose the item, but I guess it didn't matter. So they fixed that. And also they fixed that horrendous bug where you would click on the map and you would run through a den. It was actually, and the den that was closed, and you just stand at the door.
Yeah. That was actually so frustrating, especially for like merchant, when you have unlocked it, but you run straight into a wall every time.
Yeah. And the funny thing about that is, before it was fixed, it felt like every time I clicked on the map, it wanted to go through one. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll open this one up, and then it'll start doing that. And then it started going through the other one. And I was like, why? But that's
we don't ask. Yeah. We just don't ask questions when it comes to the routing. We just take it.
Yeah. That's why we do manual routing when we do stuff like Forager and stuff. We obviously had a much more interesting update, which was our first major event, the Christmas update. How do you guys find this?
Awesome. And also, before Sparty could say anything, I'm collecting black hats, black Santa hats. So if any of you guys want to like trade anything, I'm open to trade anything except white pudding hats. White pudding hats are reserved for a friend, but I am collecting black Santa hats. So just gonna put that plug out there.
That is what the stream is for. Just be on the stream and then just plug your shit, which is I want black Santa hats. Why
context?
Why black Santas? Did you really play old school Kels or anything like that?
A little bit this year. The highest I got in old school RuneScape was a total level of 1200, and then I burned out. And so I have to go back to it.
You wouldn't be the first person to collect Santa hats specifically. So I wonder, obviously, they're not going to be tradable. That's really, really clear. They've made that explicitly clear. We're not getting tradable hats, and we're not getting the party hats again. But I almost wonder if paying someone to swap for their Santa is going to be a market.
Ooh, the black market trade.
That would be kind of spicy.
But I thought we could only swap the hats for up to a certain day.
No, exactly. But what I'm saying is, I think that an elf hat will be worth less than a Santa hat. So people were like, I'll swap you my Santa for whatever crappy hat you want, because people want to collect the red and black Santa hats, and I'll pay you to do so.
Damn, that would be kind of wild. But that is definitely something that could happen.
Sorry, how do you go in the event? You probably smashed it out in like half a day, right? Like I did.
Oh yeah. I one day, basically the first day I was out, I jumped back on. Back on, I kind of betrayed Brighty Shorts for a little bit and played a bit of Path of Exile 2. My relationship with Path of Exile 2 is completely over now. But yeah, no, I came in and yeah, I absolutely loved the whole idea. I just love the fact that in Hopeport there was just a booming population that just kept trying to trade hats. That was my favorite part, because I was cooking at the time. So every time I'd jump out to Kevin 11, I would go get me some resources, and I would just basically, my chat would be filled with people trading hats. And
yeah, it still is.
So nice.
It's so cool, because I haven't seen that kind of MMO interaction since like a long time. Maybe even old school, like 2008. I see it kind of in Realm of the Mad God, but I don't think anyone plays that other than me.
The only thing that drives me crazy is that there was this one guy who would stand outside of the kitchen for like 3 or 4 days straight.
Oh yeah.
And he was total level 50. And every day for 3 days, I would run past him and he would still be asking for a red Santa hat, and his levels did not go up at all. so,
Yeah. If that's who I
so
think
it's
it is,
crazy.
that dude's got like 200 of them now, right? Maybe more. I don't know.
It's just crazy to
That's
me. It's just like
crazy.
just level and you'll get them.
Yeah. It's nice that we get to swap them down the line. So
Yes.
if you didn't know this, we will be able to swap them in the future like we can now, but only for the same event. So 2024 Christmas event, we can swap for 2024 hats. This is kind of nice because if you want to get hats on your alt, which I haven't even bothered to do yet, you technically only need to get one. And then if you can just wear it, and then if you ever want to swap it out, you can just have a friend swap out that one for one that you want. So, but yeah, I was very surprised by this event. I thought we'd get like an NPC and then you talk to them and they give you like a cosmetic and that would be it. And instead we got 20 hats, a swapping system, which, as Sparty, as you said, just brought this whole new life to the game when it comes to trading and stuff, swapping, just all talking to people and be like, hey, like you can go anywhere you go in the game now. And like any of the crafting things, like leather worker, shed, like the kitchen, the carpentry bench, all of them, they're all just like, oh, I need this hat. Do you have that hat? And it's cute. I love it. It's cute.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great for building the community, and that's something I'm like really into is building the Brighter Shores community, because that's why I fell in love with the game, is the people. And I think that it was great for community building in general.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great for rivalries as well, just because I am also collecting Black Santa hats.
Oh my god.
Just
Why?
DMing.
Just you guys will find any number to go up, and you just want it to go up. All right. Well, I'm gonna be collecting blue puddings. So everyone, just trade me blue puddings. I don't know why. I don't really have a reason.
Just doing it now.
Just
We're
doing
doing
it
it.
now.
Tell, I have
Yeah.
13. I have 13 extra blue puddings, and I will give them all to you for Black Santa hats.
Oh, mate, 13. I can do better. Let's see. We've got 16. Oh, that's 3 more.
I got 15 Black Santa hats, so I can take up one of your
Ooh.
offers.
I mean, it could be a 1-to-1 with me. I'm just saying.
It's so goofy, people. Like I love it. It's such a silly little event, and apparently Samuel, Fen Research Samuel, which is the new community manager, he told us that Andrew coded the whole swapping system in one afternoon. It wasn't like a full multi-day process. It was just literally like, okay, we need swapping, boom, done.
Damn, that's a flex.
So, yeah, but right now he's, if I recall correctly, skiing. So we're not going to see an update for a couple of days, probably until January, I think.
Kels, do you see chat? Jimmy's also collecting Black Santa hats.
Yeah, I just read that. And Jimmy, you're going down.
What? Okay. Jimmy plays a lot, Kels. You're in trouble.
Yeah. I
lot
think
of the video game.
I think Jimmy has more Black Santa hats than both of us just by playing the game.
But I have a cute avatar, so.
Okay. Overall, fantastic event. It's gonna tide us over through the Christmas period, where I think if we didn't have something like this, people are gonna get pretty upset about, oh, no update. Like, let the guys have a Christmas break. I think once January comes in, we're gonna come at like just absolutely hit 100 miles an hour when it comes to updates. So really excited for that.
Yeah, the team should be all refreshed from Christmas, hopefully, as long as nothing burns. I would say though, one thing I was kind of hoping for was, like the classic RuneScape style Christmas quests. But there's one thing I know it's not gonna happen this year, but I'm hoping it happens next year because I love those quests so much.
Yeah.
I love collecting the cosmetics for them, and it's just the quirkiness of it all. It's so much fun.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, with time, we will definitely get that kind of stuff. That's why my expectation was like really low. Just like, oh, we get a little tiny event and we got this massive thing. Super exciting. the another thing as well is they actually added a bunch of voice lines, text dialogue between NPCs. When you kick down the door in den raids, you're like, "Where's your mistletoe?" or something like that, or "Where's your Christmas decorations?" When you do interrogations, it's like this is not the holiday spirit and stuff like that. It's actually really great. He went through like all these little things, and we didn't even notice them the first day because we're all obsessed with collecting hats. But they've been popping up on Reddit and stuff like that, and the Discords.
They're also when you deliver bounties.
Oh yeah, yep. When you deliver
yeah.
bounties as well. What do they say? I haven't actually seen that.
Something about like using this to put dinner on for Christmas dinner or something, or can you
That's
sing a carol for
oh my
me?
god.
Like stuff like that.
That's cute.
That is so
Yeah.
cute.
We had one more little update before we've hit the December break, which gave us a very looked forward to button, the drop all button.
Drop all. Drop
Yes.
all. It's so useful in the
huge.
kitchen. It's so useful in the kitchen.
What do you use it in the kitchen for?
So if you're doing bounties and let's say you for one of the things you have to cook, say it's like a 3-ingredient thing, and you've already made like 12 of, or not 12, but 11 or 10 of another 1-ingredient item, you can drop all of the one item that you made and then use your inventory to create the other item. And then as long as you pick it up in 10 minutes, it doesn't despawn, and it's great.
Yeah,
It's very useful.
Doing a big bounty run. Smarty, have you used it too much, or have you just been living in den
100%.
raids?
No. So I have been using it quite a bit. Again for cooking, like Cal's. I collected about 800 lobsters. Through fishing, which was hell to cook. But
Did you
yeah, for
cook
that
all
one,
of
you
them?
definitely. I cooked all of them.
That's
Every
crazy.
single one.
I have like 300 in my bank, and I stopped when I realized, oh my god, I should be selling these because I'm never gonna cook all these, and especially now that I got like
Yeah.
70 cooking, they don't even come up in bounties anymore, and that's a small error
100%.
on my part, but that's crazy. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, it was so much work. And like because I hated cooking them so much, I leveled up my fishing manually to 73 so I can do oysters instead for my ventures. But no, I cooked every one of them. And with that one, like my method was literally just cooking a whole inventory of lobsters and then dropping them, then grabbing like uh whole inventory of the sauce, and then
Yeah.
just basically just going back and forth. Like there was so much dropping involved in that. And
Yeah,
with that
because
drop all button,
you can just make the sauce without, you can hold, and you can make more batches of sauce and then drop them,
100%.
and then yeah, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did notice that when I was doing them as well. Is because the lobster is 1 inventory slot, but the sauce is 3. So you just make a bunch of those, so you get half inventory, and then you can do a whole batch.
100%. Yeah, it just saves you so much time, in my opinion, and it's also just it makes it a bit more AFK, for such a intensive cooking because you have 4 ingredients compared to usual like 1 or 2. So yeah, drop all button was a lifesaver.
What else
So
do we
yeah.
see here? Oh, this. So if you, when this happened, we only noticed this pretty much right around when the first month mark happened. A bunch of people noticed that they had a merchant or a detective bounty set up on a venture, and they couldn't cancel it if they went free to play. So basically, they were logged out of ventures for. Oh, by the way, venture reminder. Mine's not done.
Yeah,
I gotta go do mine. But yeah, people were locked out of their venture, and that took like a week or so to get fixed, which was not a complaint. It was just like just an observation. Like, oops, just these little things you don't notice until, oh, hey, we didn't think about that. So it's great to have players playing the game to notice these kinds of things in early access.
100%. Yeah, no, I remember doing that with, although it's not too bad because it's next to a waypoint, but with the grapes, I went all the way to Hillport, ran all the way to like lobsters to try to do my ventures for lobsters. And I remember having like one of them being grapes, and I have to go all the way back to bloody Chronopolis take that off, and go back to Hopewell, run all the way to Lobsters just so I can get my venture started. It
So
was annoying.
So funny thing about ventures is I didn't even know what they were until like I think it was last Sunday when I just so happened to be in a VC with Jimmy, and I'm like, "What are those?" And
Yeah,
he's
Jimmy's like,
like,
"Oh, I'm just gonna do my adventures, get a bunch of experience," and you're like, "Excuse me, sir."
"What is that?" So I kind of deviated from the cooking stream and did some fishing grinding to 39 just so I could start doing lobster ventures.
Yeah, that is wild to me. One thing that really fascinates me the most about Kel's gameplay is that she does not look up anything at all. Um, I am a huge Googler, whereas Kel's just kind of free balls it until people tell her that things exist,
By
and
the
it's always
by.
so funny to just see Kel's being like, "What?" Because it's just mind blowing. And it's like, oh,
Yeah,
I,
the
I wish I
funniest
told
thing
you.
is the funniest thing is when people will watch me struggle for hours on end doing something, and they'll just be like, "You know, you could do it this way, right?" And I'm like, "How long were you in my chat, telling, watching
It's
me
half the fun
struggle?"
though.
I think playing games, I understand the irony coming from me. So I do understand. Rip into me for it. But I think playing games blind is a lost art, and I think that it's a real good joy to play them blind. So like, if you don't watch my videos because you prefer to play blind, then absolutely go ahead. If you don't, if you
Just
watch,
watch
if
the
you don't,
muted.
yeah, watch the muted. Watch also. Did you know that YouTube does count watch time when you watch 0.25 speed? So watch the muted and 0.25 speed.
That's true. Give Tals the revenue he deserves.
It's so silly. Okay, there was not. I think that was the major ones: Venturers
I
and
think
Drop
the
All.
other thing as well that I really liked in that one was the chick box.
Oh,
Um,
this one here.
this
Yeah.
this is yeah, the second one. That was like for when you're doing any of the weaponsmithing stuff. Just having the second one, the checkbox one. Um, because being able to sell all was just saves you having to like scroll through and try to collect the rare items that you're trying to sell as well. Um, so yeah, I think that was quite nice. It's not huge, but it definitely helps with blacksmithing grind for me.
Yeah. And I saw someone mention this. Yeah, having being coming into this new game is really refreshing as well. Completely blind,
Mm.
just on the touching on the blind thing, because obviously old school RuneScape and stuff have been solved so well that people are putting so many restrictions on themselves, and that's how they enjoy the game now. So it's kind of fun to get into something completely new. And the day one on launch was really fun, getting into voice chat and hanging out with people because we were all discovering things at the same time. And I'm really looking forward to episode 5 and onwards when we can do that again. And we're like, oh my God, look at this new thing. And because Andrew keeps everything under wraps for the most part until Samuel leaks it. So it's really nice to be able to just discover again.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I just wanted to comment on is like going in blind. Like I started playing old school RuneScape earlier this year, and I was heavily reliant on the RuneLite quest helper, and I actually feel like it actually ruined part of the experience of learning the
Mm.
game. And so going into Brighter Shores, I'm like, I'm not going to look up any guides. I'm just going to go with whatever. I have a no backseating rule because I want to figure stuff out by myself. And I think I'm enjoying the game more for it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lost art.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's also just like working in a community where you're all trying to, find out together about certain things, and then you kind of like give each other tips. It's kind of like sharing like recipes in real life, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Where you've
That's a lot
tried
of
it.
what I do. It's like I really
Yeah,
love it, and I love the joy of making these kind and sharing this kind of stuff out. It's just a joy for me.
100%. 100%, because it's like a way to just engage with people. It's a way to just be the trailblazer, and just absolutely find your way through the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely agree. It's the best way to play.
Hmm. Now, I do want to get into the AMA today, which will give us a nice bigger, just chunk of content to talk about, which was very exciting. And I really want to highlight how exciting that AMA was for people who've been playing since day one, and seeing all this feedback and stuff being heard was really, really exciting. Before we do that, though, I did want to bring this up. Macroing
Oh.
bans.
Oh yeah, let's go.
So this one was funny because everyone ripped into this guy for like, he's like, why did I get banned? It's for being banned. There were false bans given out, but they have been rectified, as far as we know. We've been told that, and we have seen that, some automated bans went out. Many of them were true, some were false. That's fine. This is, quirks in the system. They got cleared up pretty quickly by Samuel and the team. But yeah, this was really spicy, is particularly in a couple of communities like the fishing community and the cooking community as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kels, did you hear much about this? There's much kitchen talk about it, kitchen gossip.
Do you want me to name the individual that
I don't have a problem with it. I don't work at Fen Research.
Okay. So there was talk that the previous rank 4 chef, Zarakon, was a bot. And the other day he just disappeared. And it just so happened to coincide with these macro bans.
Correlation is not causation. But
in this case.
So I know that he was kind of like the most high profile chef ban, but I'm sure there were others as well that were around or in the top 20.
Yeah,
I heard Shulk has a pretty good, like, Shulk in the cooking community has a pretty big eye on the leaderboard, and they were like pretty stoked to see the waves go out. Especially, I guess it would be really frustrating to see a bunch of anonymous players doing repetitive actions for literally 16 hours. And it's like, I don't like accusations. I don't like doing that. But when the guy is doing the same thing for like straight with no break at all and not chatting and stuff like that, it's like, come on, man. Really?
Yeah. It is a bit dodgy. I do gotta say as well, this is probably one of the most unique banning system I've ever seen in any MMO before. And that is the fact that it literally turns an MMO into a single player mode. The fact that they cannot meet or interact with other players, the fact that they're just completely disqualified from the leaderboards and can't trade people.
Yeah.
It's basically like, it's the ultimate.
You can still play my game, but also you did this to yourself.
Also fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look completely isolated. It's great.
Now I have a question, and this might be a naive question, but these people who were banned, are they like IP banned? So like if they made a new account and created a new character, would it catch up with them?
They are not IP banned. They will be able to make a new Steam account and start playing again from scratch. Though with how this game progresses, I think in like a year's time, if starting from scratch it's going to be a pretty big catch up if you're going to try to get some kind of meaningful leaderboard position, which I don't understand macroing in this game. So, I do understand, like, look, old school RuneScape, for example, if you're like, get in, like, oh man, I really want to play the raids. I really want to do the end game content in that game, but I don't want to do the work to get there. Okay, whatever. People buy accounts, people bought there. Fine. I kind of get it, right? I don't fully agree with it, but I do understand it. I don't understand the point of macroing in this game. I really don't. Not to mention, none of the top leaderboard people did macro because it was just not as efficient as just playing the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's literally like, at this point, it is a lose-lose. Like, they don't have any reason to macro because they don't really, there's no trading, there's no reason to collect resources and or become the top because, it doesn't really benefit you in any way, and obviously it hinders other people like any other macroing. But yeah, in the case where it is leaderboard related, I think it is probably the worst because yeah, you got people who honestly got their 500, and that kind of diminishes their achievement that bots got there too.
Yeah.
There was
Which-
a really funny post that I wanted to bring up that we were all laughing about. There was someone who posted in the Steam community
I
that they were
forgot
like,
to bring that up.
they were like, I was banned for using a gaming mouse, and in the same breath mentioned that they were using an auto clicker.
I
And,
was
like-
gonna bring that
So-
up, and I'm glad that you did because I completely forgot about it. I'm gonna bring it up now, but keep talking.
And it was just hilarious because it was just like, oh no, it's the consequences of my actions.
Absolutely. This was really funny. Let's see. Is it? Oh, here we
It's
go.
literally written in the rules.
Demonly locked the thread, but here it is. Here, it was like banned for gaming mouse. I didn't realize using a gaming mouse was against the rules. That's how it started. And then further down, I don't have any programs. I was using an auto clicker on my gaming mouse. At most, that deserves a warning. It's like how it ended up was, oh, I was using an auto clicker. I wasn't using a gaming mouse. I was using an auto clicker.
Like,
Yeah, so-
literally the worst. The thing that got you banned instantly in RuneScape. Like, what do you expect, mate?
Yeah. So just so you know, macroing, for anyone out there, macroing is hardware or software automation. It's not just, doing a bot do the whole program for you. If you get an auto clicker and then you put your mouse on the screen to do something, I won't go into detail, but you can get in trouble for it. It is macroing. If you get a physical, like, that the little bird thing that goes deep, 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 like with the water,
yeah.
that is macroing. You can't do that. It is technically against the rules. It will get found out.
100%. 100%.
And
Yeah,
also macro.
it.
I just want to sorry. Some keyboards have G keys as well. Those can get you in trouble as well. So some people I'll hit a G key to automatically drop items or something like that. You might not have got, but it is technically against the rule terms of service. You can get in trouble for it. So just be mindful of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Don't be that
Just
guy.
play the game.
Don't be yeah, exactly.
There's nothing
be
to
the
cheat
bot that you're supposed to be. Exactly. We're supposed to be the bots.
Yes.
Why get a bot to do your job for you?
Yeah.
When you can be that job.
Like Jimmy, he's a bot and he doesn't even try.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Well, I mean, yeah, and an amazing job at 500 God already, and number one hope for it. Just be good.
Yeah.
Be like Jimmy.
Be like Jimmy. Be like Pastizio. Never sleep. Always play.
Be like yeah. Just constantly stream for 24 hours and never ever go to sleep. Okay. No, okay. Just get some sleep, please.
Yeah, please.
I worry about all of you. Get some sleep.
Thankfully, every 500 player that we've had on the stream has said, I've actually didn't go too bad, other than once I got to like 350 and I was like almost there. So I started playing 25 hours a day. Other than that, It was all good. So we had an AMA here from the fan research team, which Samuel hosted. This was really fun. Really, really exciting. We had a ton of stuff. I'm going to link it in chat real quick as well. I won't go through all of these because it would take all day, and there's plenty of other content out there discussing it, but I did want to cover the meatier points for sure, especially while we're all here. Some of this is pretty cool. Some of it wasn't. We'll see. So first of all, we won't be getting noted items. This is particularly interesting because, like Sparty, who had 800 lobsters in his bank, possibly the best thing to do would be to take all 800 and go vendor them, but you can't do that. So what's the alternative? We're going to be getting some form of bank-to-bank trading, likely in Chronopolis. This is something I thought that we might get, but this is pretty cool. A really cool idea. Did you guys hear about this?
TLDR.
TLDR. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We will get there. We will cover it.
No. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bank to bank trading.
Yes, that's going to be huge. Absolutely huge.
Yes, I actually really want there to be like some sort of system where you can buy in bulk from like a merchant NPC and have it go directly to your bank. Like that's something I would really love.
That would break the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
You will be able to do that with this system though, because there will be people who want to make money off of you and they will sell you ingredients straight to your bank. So someone can run an item probably about 400 times to get 1,000 of it in the vendor, and then they can upcharge you, make a profit, and you get 1,000 items straight to your bank. There will be people who do this.
Yeah, so they're going to be our door dashers essentially.
Correct.
There's also people who just love collecting, like people who just like foraging or like not just collecting but hoarding. And I think that'd be great for them.
Like Black
because
Santa
they can
hats.
just yeah, exactly. Well, other than the fact that you can't openly trade your cosmetics, but like for me, I myself am a hoarder, and I am trying not to fall into the rabbit hole of just collecting all the logs. But if I do that, I would 100% sell my excess on that trading system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is gonna be huge for so many professions.
Like for me right now, like my cooking level is like too high for my fishing level at this point. So like right now my fishing venture, I'm getting like the basic lobsters, and I'm probably going to be dealing with that for many levels. So like I'll have those on stock and can just sell them eventually to whoever is working on low level cooking skills.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. I think those lobsters in particular will be oversaturated, but we'll see. The meta shift as well. One thing is assorted items never change price. For example, bread, but when you're doing 374 whatever it is, bread sandwiches for like 100 levels, this would be so nice to like have a low level player buy it for 200 copper, and you can buy it from them for like 2 silver each. They'll be like, oh my god, yes. Yeah, breads and stuff like that is going to be it's going to be interesting to see what the market settles as the price for.
Yeah. And I think because there's already like, I think having fixed pricing, because like in RuneScape, there's obviously like just general stores, but like the inflation more or less for like buying more than the store usually has, or if they have more and then you buy them, that fluctuation kind of also made the grand exchange fluctuate a lot. I think having fixed pricing is going to actually make it so then there's some sort of ceiling, so then people won't just outbread for like 1 gold just for the lols,
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's nice.
The builder profession that was semi-leaked by the game itself is not player housing. We have no idea what this is going to be. And I don't think it'll be building a bridge in the mines either, unfortunately, as much as people keep asking for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I shut up. Don't at me on here. How dare you? Yes, I really want player housing. It's gonna be great, and I am kind of interested to see what they're gonna do with the builder profession if it's not player housing.
Yeah, Samuel said that the editor in the game, like the way they make the levels, is like a in-game map editor from other games, where it's really just like you place the tiles and stuff like that. So I think they could do something really, really cool for player and housing, but just we're not there yet, and that's okay. I'm interested to see what the profession will be though. They also look at buffing weapons and armor in the future, like our own form of enchantment, but that's not coming anytime soon.
Sweet.
This is Couture asked this. He's very big on the development side. He doesn't play the game at all. He's like level 150 or something, but he loves the game, Fen research, and all the dev stuff. So he asked about the engine. So Fenforge itself is a game engine, a games focused programming language, whatever that means, and an IDE, which we've seen a screenshot of. I'm really excited to get my hands on this. I'm not exactly a proficient coder. I have the concepts down, but I need to learn Java and stuff. But this is really cool. I think a lot of people are really looking forward to this.
100%. I think that would open up a whole world of, like, especially for content creators like yourself, that would open up a whole world of being able to get footage that you can't get in game naturally, or just simply being able to understand the amount of difficulty that they had to go through to actually make the game. It
Yeah.
will give people a good taste tester, but also I think it also opens up a whole avenue of being able to practice with the Fenforge if, for example, you do want to be employed by Fenforge in the future, or sorry, Fen Research in the future. That is something that would be quite cool to see.
Yeah, and just making projects as well. I'm really looking forward to see what could come out of it. Cal's is
do,
like,
like, little
cooking.
Yeah.
I like cooking.
You guys caught me. I was
That's fine. This
zoning
is
out a little
a
bit.
very specific thing. I didn't want to go too deep about that. We have the professions they do agree that they be a little bit more interconnected when it comes to the professions. And this also means repeatable content that isn't just, the grinding the skills out, which is the most common complaint I see every time I post a new guide video that says, this is a cool guide, but also the game sucks. So I'm like, thanks for that. Appreciate it. So we do get a little bit of that where the game is like boring, and I don't disagree with people on it. Unless you're a specific type of person who likes to say and cook literally 70,000 sandwiches, it's not for you. And that's okay, and that's why I don't actually recommend the game to my personal friends, my friends outside.
Actually, like 18,000.
The range, the 340 range is like 70,000. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just 1 second here.
Money though. But yeah, no, I agree. I agree that interconnectedness is going to help a lot. I think that's why a lot of people like things like The Mine or things like Chronopolis, because it is super interconnected.
Chronopolis is awesome. It is so nice. Like, it's so cool. It's like,
it's self-sustained,
and yeah, and just like the way that Chronopolis works is like, oh, I want to do leatherworker. That's why I'm in the mines doing weapon crafting, because I want to do weapon crafting to make my gear better, so I can do den raids, so I can do merchant better, so I can do leatherworker. And it's like that whole stream of just perfect design is really cool. And I think a lot of people didn't see that, because episode 1 and episode 2 is, here's your stuff. And then you get to episode 2 and it's like, oh, look, you get foraging again, but it's apples. And a lot of people bounce off of that, which is understandable. Feedback on the leaderboards as well. We will be getting true rank on leaderboards. We will not be getting anonymous listings where it's like anonymous player, but we will get true rank, which I think is a great compromise for all of the feedback we've been getting on the opt-in system. And I think it'll be like this will shut down the conversation as well. It's like, this is what you're getting. I think people can be happy with it as well.
Yeah. I think, it's going to be perfect. A lot of, you talk to a lot of people who are up there in the top 20 of a skill, and there's that huge anxiety, right? Of like, am I actually that number? Is there somebody ahead of me? And there's no way to tell, because people can just opt out at this point. That true rank is going to take away a lot of anxiety and restore a lot of sleep, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of sleep is required in this community.
When you're in the unfortunately, when you're in the world race, we will not see, like, if you're number 2 and the number 1 player is opted out, the only downside is you won't be able to see their rank, which in my opinion, only really affects world racers, but also you will know if you need to go hard or not. And I think that is better, because I think that the way that the opt-in system works at the moment does promote unhealthy gameplay, because when you're in number 1 spot, you should be able to, like, okay, I can take a breather. But when you're in number 1 spot right now, it's more like, I need to get there as fast as possible, because there might be someone ahead of me at the moment. So I'm going to go for 22 hours tonight instead of 18 or 16.
Exactly. You can pace yourself a bit better. And I think Jimmy nailed it on the head on his stream about like just keeping people accountable and keeping people like honest. And I think at the moment, just because we don't get the opt-outers in the leaderboard, you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yep.
And then I also want to touch on the fact that there are people who abuse the opt-out system. Like, yes, the opt-out system is there because Andrew Gower wanted there to be privacy because of privacy laws. But people are also abusing the system to have an advantage over other people who are racing. And so basically the advantage is that if you are rank 1 and another person is higher than you and also racing for rank 1, that person who's opted out has an advantage because they can see your progress. Well, you can't see theirs. So you don't know how much time you have to put in, whereas they have a constant gauge as to where you're at and how much they need to grind.
Yeah, it's unsportsmanlike, and that's hopefully this helps. I think this will change a little bit of the culture behind it as well. Because, yeah, you'll be able to know if I'm number 2 and I know this guy's on all the time and he's number 1, but he's opted out. It's like, come on, man, just opt in. And then he goes into say that we will see more minigame and repeated raid style content, which is good to see. I think this will help the game's health a lot.
Absolutely. I think that's what a lot of people are looking forward to, just because at the moment, yeah, like as soon as you finish the quests, it's kind of like there's no substantial content to go for.
Yeah.
So quests would be cool. I mean, raids would be cool, or mini games.
Mm-hmm. We did get a confirmation about mobile, which we already kind of knew was in the game, because if you look into the third-party licenses, you'll see stuff like Google Play and Apple. But yeah, the mobile game is basically confirmed, the mobile version, which is really cool.
Could be dangerous.
It's very
Could be dangerous for my phone battery.
Yeah. So this will be really nice to get a native version, because Steam Link does have its own little issues. I believe Sam has said something like, oh, it runs really well on mobile. So they probably have a test built on it that they play around with. And mainly the reason that it doesn't get updated, if you didn't know, is that when you are on official stores such as Play Store and Apple, Steam doesn't do this. You can update your game as much as you want. But when you're on Apple and Play Store, you have to like push updates, then they have to test it and make sure it's not a virus and other stuff like that. And there's a whole process that takes over 24 hours to get your update out. So they need to have a rigid update schedule first before they can deploy it to mobile.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool. And yeah, it's totally understandable. With the amount of updates they're doing at the moment, they're just gonna have a hard time trying to balance that.
I am excited for the mobile version because I think it will do wonders for the player base in general.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it'll introduce a whole new way of players the game. And because the game is a little, to be fair, mobile-like when it comes to not the UI, but just the gameplay itself right now. I mean, RuneScape's a similar way, but RuneScape lets you have a lever where you can tune into like really intense content, or you can tune back to passive content. So once we get the intense content in, it'll be really nice to, like, I can play fire shows on my desktop when I'm doing like a raid, and then when I want to chill and do some cooking or den raids, we can fire up the mobile app, which will be a little bit more convenient than doing Steam Link as well.
Especially when they bring in the queuing system as well.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And yeah, registering on the Apple Store and Play Store costs money every build, or registering it, whereas Steam is like $100 fee to get listed, and then you're done.
Oh, really? That's good to know.
Yeah, and also Steam gives you their fee back if you make $1,000 or something like that as well.
Oh,
yeah. This one's the big combat one, which everyone's heard about. So they want to improve combat. I've had multiple discussions or, at least messages to Sam and getting responses about this on his Friday streams and stuff like that. But a lot of people are a little bit worried about this. They're like, oh, what's going to change or blah, blah, blah. I'm going to lose my rank, my effort, my experience and stuff like that. They're definitely focusing and prioritizing, making sure no one loses their #1 leaderboard rank or #2 for Jimmy and stuff like that. We don't want to lose all the effort that you've done into your combat skills. And that's a big priority and focus. So it's going to be interesting to see how they shift it and add, the ability to identify different combats and how different regions will be different, a little bit different, but also work together, but also avoid the problems where we discussed earlier with expansion content. And it's like everything before the expansion is dead content now.
Yeah, I remember having this chat with a lot of people, and I think the recurring thing is definitely about not undermining people who've already got like 500 in skill. It's a catch-22 situation. They can't just condense it down to one combat because that would cause an outrage. And they, yeah, obviously don't want to keep it the same because the problem is new players coming in will look at that and leave again. So somewhere in between, but I don't know what.
Yeah. I've always said as long as that the combats have some kind of distinguishing feature between each episode, even if it's cosmetic, right? Even if like you get
Sure.
scout armor and it looks like this, you can have your normal faction armor, but there might be a scout fit, right? People will farm the shit out of anything for cosmetic changes. So
Yes.
if you got like a watch person outfit or like a more city-like outfit, or when you did guard, you can continue to get guard beyond level 50. That would be even just something small like that as an addition would be awesome. But yeah, we really can't know. Yeah.
I would love profession-specific outfits for cosmetics.
Yeah.
Like
even
a fisherman's outfit or
yeah.
a forger's outfit. Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even if it was just you level up rewards, people would just love that. And just, or even RNG drops. I don't know, but I'm not a designer, but I know that people love the Christmas hats. So
imagine like a lumberjack outfit for a woodcutter. Like that would be so cute.
Oh, that'd be so
cute.
good.
Yeah.
And the fact like they could like color match it to the cape as well, which would be just fashionscape 101.
Yeah. It's really
so
exciting.
good.
And with a transmog system as well, we can fashion shores whatever we want or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, really looking forward to what they do here.
I think one of like quality updates that actually happened has been the transmog system. Like not just for the hats, but just in general, because everyone knows armor. Yeah, armor between 0 to 200 is pretty mediocre. So the fact that I'm just running around
Guardian.
Rip. But like the fact that you can just now run around like in your clothes that you've set your character, which costs only a silver to change now, is just it's amazing. I'm literally killing people in the den barefoot, and it's a vibe. So
okay,
it's just one of those things where it's just like, yeah, it would definitely help a lot to add more transmogs, especially as Kel said.
Yeah,
proficient specific.
Yeah, so really excited to see what we do with combat. We don't know. I don't want to speculate too much. All we can do is just give a little feedback on how we feel about it and see what they come up with. My case in point regarding this is everyone was like, "Oh, give us withdraw 612. Give us withdraw 612. It'll make the game so much better." And then Andrew said, "No. You get auto. We get auto withdraw instead." It's like,
yeah.
None of us even thought of that, and he came up with that system just like that. So just give it time, and that's what I think. We just give it time.
In Gower, we trust.
Yeah,
100%. I think the biggest thing about this whole situation is the fact that even though, from Gower's post earlier about the combat system, he truly believed in the combat system as it is. But the fact that he was still willing to just let go of that as soon as he realized that it's not working and actually consider options, I think that goes a long way to see how much they're willing to put
He was
into
like,
it.
please try it. And then everyone tried it and we're like, we still don't like it, Andrew.
I don't like it.
So yeah, so that's really good.
Yeah,
Good to see. He goes
absolutely.
into PvP here. It's a league system. So we originally we kind of speculated this would be like leagues or PvP leagues and stuff like that, kind of like RuneScape is or Path of Exile is. But this, the way he defines the league system in this is more like mobile games. I don't mean that in a bad way. Just this is an easy example, like Clash of Clans, right? You PvP against people your rank or your league, and then you move up and down based on that. This means everyone can enjoy PvP, and you won't need to like be level 500 or whatever. You don't need the best gear perfectly. You can always experience people around your range, and we'll see how the matchmaking works on that. Or it says it's open world as well, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
I think my only concern here with PvP, at least from what I've seen in terms of combat, is the RNG system, right? Like in terms of how much you hit, how much you get hit. And I think like the PvP and say like, sorry to keep comparing to RuneScape, but that's like the easiest thing to compare. But like the PvP in RuneScape, where it was fully sweaty, where you basically gear change and get yourself
oh my
quality
god,
RSI. Yeah, like I obviously don't want it to ever get to that point, because I honestly did not like the
no,
PvP in RuneScape. But I also don't know how they're gonna add a system where it gives you some kind of skill based combat, because right now
yes.
combat is just click and then
PvP in the
wait.
current state of the game is not going to be good. If we literally just take it at face value and it's like we hit each other with sticks, it's not going to be good. And I think that they understand that as well. And I don't think PvP will be like that either. But we definitely need to see the PvP, the combat rework first before we even speculate. And I do think that PvP might be slightly different to fighting mobs as well. So yeah, we'll see.
Not historically speaking, I haven't been huge into like PvP in games, but I'm still curious to see how it will be in Brighter Shores. To see if maybe it would actually be something enjoyable for someone like me who's just a little
Yeah,
casual.
yeah. No, it's a casual, laid back game by design. Obviously, you can play it as hardcore as you like, but we will see. And it seems like something that you can dabble in without going crazy. But he does mention staking as well, so which if you didn't know is it's quite sweaty.
Yeah, it just reminds me of what's it
Duel
called?
Arena.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Jewel Arena. 100%. Like that's what it seems like it's gonna be, which I don't mind. I actually did enjoy peak Jewel Arena times.
Yeah. I'm expecting it to be a little bit more strategy focused rather than sweaty like
Mm,
OSRS is, which OSRS does have sweaty. I understand
yeah,
that, but there would be a lot of strategy in terms of which is the best spec to use, which is the best thing to do in the moment. Should I be using if potions remain the same, which I don't
mm,
think that will change, should I be using a potion right now, or should I try and push for a kill, that kind of stuff. So I think it'll be interesting.
100%.
Kind of like a
Especially if there's like
turn-based
special true, yeah,
versus
turn
something real
based,
time.
like you can put up defenses kind of thing, so you can like
Yeah.
defend against
Not
Inferno.
literally turn-based, but the game is the pace slow enough as long as there's enough strategy in it that it feels like a turn-based game. Yeah.
100%. Like, don't get me wrong, there'll still be like sweaty aspects in terms of like calculating like the DPS and chances and stuff. But I think giving people a simple system that you don't need a PhD to figure out how to do, I think will definitely give people like Kels who haven't historically played PvP but could still dabble in it to see what it's like without feeling like they instantly keep losing kind of thing.
Yeah. Let's see. There was we plan to add many more transmogs as we discussed, which is very
Let's
exciting.
go.
We will see what they
Super
have
exciting.
cooking up for that. I'm sure Sam's always giving. Sam feels like a player. Samuel feels like a player for me. Every time we interact with him, he's like, "Oh yeah, the fact that I can't drop items while moving is a pain in the ass, and I want him to change it." So stuff like that, or like I can't add friends. He's like, I'm pushing Andrew to change it. So the
No.
stuff that annoy
Yeah,
us, he's also experiencing and giving feedback on, which is really really great. So he's very much on our side
absolutely.
when it comes to this kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll see. He's big into pets too. So yeah.
Oh,
Um,
please, yes.
we also have a mention of maybe some kind of type of profession chat or making you be able to chat with people across instances within the same room. So you have when you're in the kitchen, you can talk to anyone else in the kitchen, which at the moment isn't an issue, but at launch, if you played during launch, very often you would leave the room to go buy from Kevin 11 and you'd go back in and you'd be in with new people, friends or not, just because the room size of 30 players or whatever, 20 players, and just so many people coming in and out. So it'd be nice to see that change, or even just a profession channel, because if you didn't know, every profession has its own culture. So like chef have their own kind of culture, carpenters have their own culture, and then there's leatherworkers, which we don't like to talk about because those guys are crazy.
Unhinged. Too much AFK time.
Yeah. Too much chatting over there. I've heard some weird stories from the leatherworking guild. And then introduction to co-op leveling methods with partying and stuff, which would be really cool.
I think that chat would definitely be a lifesaver for this game. I think at the moment we don't really feel the MMO aspect, right? We just feel the online aspect. And having a chat that's just constantly popping would bring that back in, especially for things like, combat where you're only with another one or two people at any point. So it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see.
Yeah. Kels, anything regarding the chat stuff? Have you had any problems with like changing rooms and stuff, or has it mostly been good now?
The only thing I don't like is that when you leave the room, you can't see what's being said while you're gone.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. And then when you come back in to a group
like,
of your friends, like you're kind of like having to catch up on the conversation again.
I was going for 30 seconds to buy bread, and y'all are talking shit about me. I know
it. Y'all trading black sat hats behind my back.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It feels like that. It feels like that. I like, hold on, I'm gonna go buy bread. And I'm like, that fucking frog, man. Like I feel it. I feel it in the back of my neck.
It's also just that FOMO, eh? You just want to stay in the conversation.
Yeah,
you
don't want to keep chatting. So yeah, but the guilds themselves really love it. I said it before the game even came out. I said that all these crafting guilds where everyone hangs out is going to create a really cool community culture, which ironically in RuneScape 3, the blacksmithing is like that. In Falador, that's where all the blacksmithing happens. But when you go play RuneScape 3, no one's talking. Everyone's just grinding, and it's just completely different. Maybe our game is more boring. I don't know. But people are much more engaged and people chatting all the time. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. And I think it's also just the aspect of a new game, right? Like with RuneScape, you kind of know what you're doing at that point. Whereas with this game, like there's still heaps of knowledge that can be shared. You can tell people that ventures exist that they've never realized existed. And you can trade hats.
Yes.
Which I'm still looking for Black Santa hats, by the way.
Stop plugging.
You've done it twice. I only did it once. I only did it once, and you're doing it twice. Who's the thirsty one over here?
I'm sorry. It's too good.
They go in. We have another question here. This one, they go in more into rethinking the combat professions, but not having a separate combat profession per episode. More on this will be revealed once the designs in my head have turned into something concrete. So yeah, really interested to see what will happen with that. But yeah, again, prioritizing, making sure people on the leaderboard and people's efforts are not wasted. So he has experienced a lot of feedback about and received a lot of feedback about the way the professions work in terms of looping or larger maps, that kind of stuff. A lot of the game's design is at the moment loops and trying to make an efficient loop, which it can be fun, it cannot be. Some people like a larger map to explore. Chronopolis kind of felt like that when you first walked in. There was not a lot of loops in Chronopolis. You just kind of walk in and you're like completely overwhelmed compared to something like Hopeport, where it's just you're just quite linear, or you're looping around fishing or foraging. So I like the diversity in the content. So I hope we get to see more of that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see them do any map changes at this point as well. But it's one of those things where they can. This is the time to do it.
And he also does receive, he's heard the things about the clicking, where, for example, when you're doing combat, it takes 2 clicks instead of 1. Well, originally when we first launched the game, it was 3 clicks to do combat, which felt really bad. So that's been improved on, and then we'll see what other iterations we get. I'd like to see a default weapon. I've never in my life going to click my one-hander when my two-hander is better when I'm fighting the same mob. So having a form of default weapon selection would be nice. Every time I look to my left on stream, by the way, that's me clicking combat. And so yeah, just those kinds of things to be improved on, which is good, so we can not get arthritis.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. There's nothing else to say about it.
Yeah. More mentions of minigame.
Something I want fixed.
Sorry. Yep.
That stupid goblin on the north and south wall in Leaderboard.
You brought this up with Samuel. You hate that thing.
Yes.
I've got a meme about that later on as well. I saw that someone posted.
I hate really that goblin so much.
The ladder goblin is awful.
There's no reason when you are all the way at the top of that wall for it to be able to hit you. Sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. Did it just happen? No, you're not doing bounties right at the moment.
It happened about 20 minutes ago.
Excellent.
It's fresh.
It's fresh in the mind. More mentions of minigame and raid style content, which uses professions from other episodes. So we'll hopefully see, more RPG elements of our characters becoming stronger and becoming more skilled, rather than walking into a new zone and being like, who am I?
100%.
So that's really good to see.
I reckon. Sorry, just really quickly. I reckon what would be kind of cool as well is to see like raid styles that require all 3 factions.
Oh yeah.
That would be kind of cool. Like, one of each faction has to be partaking of the raids, and instead of a rivalry, it becomes a friendship.
Yeah. Having different specs would help with that. Like, and it might not even be like, surely you can do, like, let's say you have 3 people, 3 guardians, right? And maybe you can put on a dot on them, but it's exclusive, right? So you can only have one of the guardian dot per time. But if you have all 3 factions in, and they can all put a dot on, so you can still do it as 3 guardians, but having a mix would be just more efficient. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but just as long as people can always do it, even if it's air quote less efficient, I think that'd be good as well. And just because we don't have a Trinity system, and I don't want to introduce one.
Yeah, I don't think they ever had the idea of introducing it.
Yeah.
I don't think it has any place in this game.
No. This is a really good one. This is very hopeful. If you've ever played RuneScape 3 and possibly old school, I think in modern day, a lot of the crafting and gathering professions are just worthless, because you can go mining and get 100 ore, or you can go kill Glacier or something like that and get like 1,000 ore instead. And just all the different bosses and stuff just drop tons of gathering and crafting materials. So he mentions that we'll be very careful to make sure the crafting professions don't become worthless. Even if we had a unique drop you could only get from a boss, we would still do something like making it so crafting can be used to further enhance the item.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be great, because one of my biggest annoyance with RuneScape was the fact that you couldn't craft like a full rune set until you're like 90 plus. Whereas, I mean, I know RuneScape 3 has changed that now, but old school RuneScape is still there. They've also added more things to it, but yeah, not having a worthless profession is always a good thing, because people would just leave it.
I don't play the game, but I hear something about like pirate zombies being cracked. they drop like
I
tons
don't
of
have to
really
leave
good
it
loot.
anymore.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, yeah,
new mob gets introduced, it drops tons of good loot, and then people get upset because it
yeah.
makes
Because it
all of
just
the other
makes
skills
everything else.
redundant. Yeah,
100%, 100%, and that's something I really hope they don't do. They just keep it pretty balanced because I love skilling,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
at the point is I love skilling because it's relevant.
yeah. Personally, I feel like all the skills are really, really balanced, except leather workers. Don't hate me. You're a little bit overtuned. Sorry.
Yep, yep. The fact they can make like 6 gold an
That's a max
hour.
level, but yeah, 6 gold an
Yeah,
hour with max merchant, max leather worker. Whereas like chef and fisher, they're like, help! I only make a gold and a half or
yeah.
something.
It's wild. Yeah.
Broken says the chef. Please buff me.
Give me more gold.
This question here, they have mentions of adding a polling system in the game, which would be really good because at the moment when you ask X, formerly Twitter, as he says, you'll get a different response versus if you throw it on Discord versus if you throw it on Steam discussions or Reddit, who all have very different, conflicting, and angry opinions at each other. So being able to be like, hey, do you want hat trading? And then get a definitive answer on it, which I still think is no, as much as the people who are saying yes are coping.
I think it's also just it's that old school RuneScape culture of wanting to have a say in what gets added and or removed.
Yes.
Um, and that's fair enough. That's that transparency that gamers really want.
Yeah. I think that the old school system and polls is a really good system, where it has its faults where it's like, oh, a new skill didn't get added even though they did all this work because they were so adamant they didn't want a new skill. I think they have sailing now, obviously, but they were so adamant, no new skills. So yeah, that's been kind of done away with. But as long as we don't get that kind of culture, I think it'll be nice to get polls.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only people that vote no are the elitists and or the people who already got their
Max.
leaderboard
Yeah.
position. Yeah, exactly. And I think at one point the game will become like this. But I think it's completely different at the moment, and I think it can benefit from it.
Yeah. This is he also has taken notice here about how people love den raids and people love semi AFK because we obviously have the passive system, which some people aren't really happy with because it's like, oh, I get one level 8 every 8 hours, which I think they have no vision, which its passive system's awesome. But also the rest of the game is extremely active, except den raids and maybe leatherworker and a little bit of chef if you're doing stews. So he's taken note, like, we want to add ways to add semi AFK ways to play, which is really nice as well.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, as I said at the start, having raids as a thing is really nice. Like, yeah, it's a balancing act, right? Where you could be doing something that will give you more rewards in terms of gold or XP, but just being able to switch off your brain and having that AFK option is really nice.
Yeah. Kels, did you have anything to add?
About the semi AFK.
Yeah. I mean, I know you do stews for the rest of your life, but
the more AFK something is, and I think this is just different because I'm a streamer and I have ADHD. I like being like semi AFK while I'm doing my cooking because I can then interact with my chat. Now, if I wasn't streaming, I would be more than happy to do the more click intensive type of stuff. So I don't think the way I see it is fair to apply to any other
no,
players.
that's very valid. That's exactly the same. That's how a lot of people feel. They want to have that lever. It's like, I want to be locked in the game. I want to get rewarded for being locked in versus I don't want to be locked in right now. I want to chat with my stream. I want to play some other game. I want to play Path of Exile 2. So I'm going to do den raids. Sparty.
What are you talking about?
Stuff like that.
Oh, is that you? Yeah. We don't talk about my transgressions against the community.
Yeah. And then we have a party system planned. We wanted it to launch, it wasn't ready. And we want to add more co-op activities to go alongside the party system. So that's just really cool to see. I love co-op fishing. It's a shame it's not very efficient, but I think it's friggin' awesome. It's just a lot of fun. So it's as silly as it sounds. It's just a lot of fun.
I've said this heaps, and I'll keep saying it. The game is great. The only thing it's missing is the online aspect. It doesn't feel like you can really party up and talk to people as much as the game should. So the more they fix that, the better.
Yeah.
I would love to see some like dungeons where you have to team up with your friends and stuff like that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to jump forward here because I want to get into the guests. We will have one more of his AMA questions here. This guy asked a really long, dumb question about content creation, and he basically got met with TLDR. That was really funny.
That was a highlight of the AMA, I think.
Yes, it was. And a lot of great jokes spawned from this. There's a pin in one of the Discords at the moment about just ripping into me. And I asked Samuel this question. I didn't ask Andrew. And then Samuel, later on, in discussions with Samuel, has answered this question. So he had an answer, but he didn't answer it. No hard feelings here. This is really, really, really funny. The whole office was laughing, and I'm glad that the whole office could laugh at this. And I laugh at it too, because this question sucks. The way that I framed, I had this copy pasted, and then I saw how everyone else asked their question, and I was like, I messed up. So I don't have any hard feelings about it. I've learned my lesson, and I got done for it, which is fine. And the answer to the question is they do want to work really closely with streamers. He's been doing Fen Research Friday or Fen Fridays, where he streams and he talks to other Twitch streamers. He's been talking to them and bringing in co-streams. And Samuel's been a great addition to the team, and the most active community manager we've ever seen in any game like this as well. And it's just I don't say that lightly. I think that you guys would agree with that.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's great to see. Yeah, and this is funny. I cringe at this. I do.
Yeah.
It's so awful.
I mean, to be honest, he could have just like, if you scroll back up, like he could have literally just asked like 3 lines there.
I know this part.
Just
this part. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I just go on to this stuff. I know. It's just I was so passionate. I'm very passionate frog guy,
Yeah.
whatever. So anyway, I don't want to sit on it because I cringe at it too. So I want to bring our first guest onto here, which is Karashta, who was the world second 500 chef. So we'll bring him on now. Hello, Karashta.
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing?
Karashta, let's
Hey,
go.
welcome in.
Chef fam.
Yeah, I'm a chef fan. I miss it. I'm like, I got Stockholm syndrome or some shit, whichever one it is.
Are you still in the
I-
kitchen?
No, I want to be in the kitchen though. I'm so bored here in the carpentry place. Nobody's talking.
So there are different cultures. There's totally different
Yep.
cultures, right?
These people are just like standing here doing the activity. Nobody's like talking about how miserable cutting all this wood is to get to
There's no shared trauma.
Seriously, I don't know who these people are. They don't
Misery
even
loves
say
company,
anything.
and for some reason, there's just no misery, no company. What's going on?
I don't know. I guess they're just not miserable enough. These people haven't really buckled down to the grind, you know?
they're all running out and spending all their money instead of making it. So you went to
Seriously.
carpentry next, did you?
Yeah, I just want to get I haven't done like anything in this game. So
Oh my god,
I
you're doing the
basically-
32 carpentry grind?
yeah, I'm doing the 32 carpentry.
Man's got
That's
500
that-
chef.
That's what
awesome.
Tupi did. When he finished the monument, he went and did the 32 carpentry
That's
grind. 'cause he
right.
did-
You guys, welcome to the game, guys. It's like you just started. It's so
Yeah, I
great.
pretty much originally I got to like level 25-ish and everything, and I went to Hope Forest and got some stuff, and I was like, okay, cool, we get to cut wood. I love cutting wood. Like I cut all the trees in RuneScape, and then I'm doing this stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. But then I needed 61 chef or something for a quest, I think. And then I'm sitting there making stew or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I really like this. I can get 200. 200 should be fine, you know? This will be my first 200. So then I get to
Okay.
200, and I'm like, okay,
While
they
I'm
told me it was
here.
going to be 4 times slower. Yeah, exactly. While I'm here. And then, yeah, that was way long ago, and it took way longer than I thought it would. Um, I
So
want to
It's
say,
impressive.
at what point did you like? At what point did the fallacy kick in, where it's like, I'm here already, I need to finish it?
probably around like 250, somewhere around there. I was like, oh, I'm quote unquote halfway done. This was before I had done like any mental math to realize just how many levels there are to 500. So it's like, yeah, I'm halfway. And then I started doing the math somewhere, I want to say like around 300, because I was like, wow, this is still kind of taking a while. It didn't like slow too much, which I was happy about. Like, yeah, it takes more and more XP, but it scales pretty well for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just remember like totally getting absorbed, man. I can't. What can I say? We said the what was it, the dopamine fiends? Is that what we all are? Dopamine
That's
fiends?
it. Yeah, number
I thought it was-
chasers.
I thought it
Yeah,
was
I was-
dopamine crackheads.
Yeah,
Crackheads,
crackheads
yeah,
is more appropriate.
Potato.
Yeah, that's what that's why all the experience potions are for.
Oh my god, those things. I don't even bother, man. When I realized I
so-
could take them, but I would have to lose a slot, I was like, this is way too much work.
Yeah.
Just me and Kevin 11, bro. Me and Kevin 11.
So yeah, so you did your 500 grind. So you didn't use level 500 potions. Sorry, you didn't use experience potions during your grind.
I didn't use any potions. I didn't even really do. So I got to 200 without buying any of the passives, and I was using some of my KP on just like, I think it was
Same.
alchemy, because I don't really like alchemy. Yeah, I started chef like really early. It was like the 4th day of the game, I want to say. Then I got
That's-
to 200.
That's
and
interesting
bought the
because
passives.
I would suspect, because the guard grind, for example, that world first was like, I was going to log into the game and start combat and get world first. That was how the guard grind went. But you went to Hope Forest, maybe even further. You vibed for a bit. You got stuck into chef only in like day 4. So how hard did you grind? How intense was it?
The grind didn't really get that bad until basically the leaderboard came out. Like I was doing a decent amount. It's my second monitor game, and chef is decently semi AFK, so I'd be like, you know, watching a stream or whatever, playing. And oh man, I completely forgot what I was saying because I almost knocked something off my table.
You're good.
I don't think people realize just how long the chef grind is, because you know you see 500 levels, right? And then you find out it's 4 times that, from 200 to 500, right? So when you do the actual math, you say that's 300 levels, right? Multiplied by 4, because that's the equivalency to the original 200. So you're left with 1,400 actual like pre-200 levels that you're grinding.
Hmm.
Which doesn't like,
100%.
yeah, it doesn't really click. So like level, I think it was like 300 something was actually the halfway point. It was really weird, man.
Mm-hmm. How close were you to first? Did you like? Are you upset that you only got second, or like
No,
you
no, no.
didn't
So,
really
like,
care, eh?
I was only upset probably like the 2nd or 3rd day the leaderboard was out, because I had the first spot by like 60 levels for over a day. Like I was like, okay, I guess really I am the only crazy person doing this. Like it was like I thought there were a couple people crazier than me who had also been, you know, really feeling the chef grind. But then when he came out and Barra was like 30 levels above me already, I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's like, I don't know, 3 days of full time playing that, and he's playing more hours a day than me. So literally, it's like, you know, like you're driving a car and a cheetah just runs past, and you just know you could never. catch a cheetah. Like, whatever, I'll do my best.
That's
How
a
many
great example.
hours? How many hours a day did you log in for? Did you change as you got closer
Uh,
to 500?
so it definitely changed. Originally, I'd say like, I normally game anywhere from like 8 to 10 hours because I'm just always here anyway, and it is a second monitor game. But it once the leaderboard came out, it was probably, I don't know, 14 plus every day. And then, God, Bacon Mountain, dude. I'm sorry, Kels, because you're heading to it slowly but surely. But Bacon Mountain is so from 3:45 to 4:38, it's all one recipe, and like
Yeah.
the recipe doesn't give you more every time. So like you're
Oof.
slowly climbing up this mountain, and it just I think level 410 was about the first time I actually was like, maybe I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's
All the other
Too late to
times,
turn back
it's
now.
okay. Yeah. And
I've
then
heard the horror stories of Bacon Mountain, and I'm not looking forward to it. But number must go up.
I
definitely
love
do it. I
I
believe in
love
that.
that the chef community has come up with a name for like Bacon Mountain because it's not the first time I've heard that, and it wasn't from you. I heard it, so
No,
it's just
it is.
it's
As soon as
hilarious,
you
and it's
see how much you have to do, you're like, it's just a mountain of bacon. Because you get like a small glimpse of it earlier. I think it's like 170 to 217 or something.
Yep,
So there's
I
like a
just got over
ton.
that one.
Yeah, and that one kind of sucks because bacon sandwiches, let's face it, bacon sandwiches just kind of suck.
Yes.
It's a lot of running and a lot of clicking compared to just stew where you're mindless. And then to have to do almost 100 levels of, well, sorry, quote unquote, have to do 100 levels of it.
mhm.
Uh, Hopefully, when trading comes out, I assume people are going to be running fish and it'll change completely, and no one will suffer
Mm,
Bacon
The
Mountain quite
Bacon
the same
Mountain
way.
seventy
true
thousand,
that.
just over
Oh my
70,000
God.
bacon, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah,
It's
Shulk said it was,
crazy.
it's like over 70,000 if you don't use bounties or KP, because those do cut it down,
Yeah.
obviously. But it's so many. Level 430 is the worst level in the chef game. I'm sorry, anyone that experiences it. It's a passive level, so you have to spend 4 KP on that, and it takes like almost 3 hours, I think, to do that one level. Never.
Um.
Far out.
Now, Bacon Mountain. Do your passives help at all with gaining the levels?
Absolutely. You want to do the passives. They every night, even if it was only like half a level, think about that. That's half a level of bacon that you don't have to climb
That's two
Oh man.
hours of your
Start
life that
instead of
you're gonna
measuring
get back.
instead of measuring experience per hour, start measuring in like how much bacon reduction.
Exactly. That's the way to think
Yeah.
about it. Like just less bacon. And I found I'd say my biggest like advice to anyone is just dude, ignore the game when you're playing Bacon Mountain. Like put on that movie you like
Mm.
and just watch that movie, that binge I watched. I think it was Only Murders in the Building. I watched the entire series. So
Yeah.
just,
That's
like
awesome.
put on One Piece or whatever if you're into anime and just like go for
Nice.
it,
One Piece
man.
is good.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's pretty brutal. Other than that
Mm.
though, it's not too bad. Like I've got 99s in old school RuneScape and I've got some of the like the crappier gathering ones. So like not agility though. That's just
Mm.
let's not talk about agility.
Yeah, let's not talk about agility.
But I don't even feel like it was that bad. Especially the chefs.
Mm.
Like everybody's cool, you know. Shulk was my biggest competition, and he basically also helped push me to get second. And like I don't know, we just all just hang out. Sometimes there's not talking for like an hour or two while everybody's just sort of like, I hate bacon, I hate bacon, I hate bacon. But then
That
like it comes
is
back out and people talk.
that is really really cool. It sounds like you
Mm.
had a lot of fun. As much as like the jokes about the miserableness of it, I think it sounds like it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely fun. And I think a lot of it is just the culture that we try to promote in there. Like any time anybody got like too heated or too political or anything, which was only like once or twice in the God knows how many hundreds of hours I've actually spent on the game. It cooled down pretty fast. Like nobody got really mad. Everything just sort of settled down and everybody started cooking again
The
for like
AI
an
kicked
hour.
in
And
and
then,
started blocking messages.
oh my God. Speaking of which, I kind of like it. Like it can be frustrating if you're trying to say like, if you type shit and curse a lot like I do, because it just comes out of you.
hmm
But I
Yeah.
kind of like that man, I don't have to stand near anything like the old school RuneScape Grand Exchange and hear that type of bile, you know? Like,
Hmm.
That
I
is
got to
a
stand.
pretty refreshing
Amen to
opinion to hear.
that.
I like that. That's really cool. And someone in my Discord mentioned as well. It's I think that that filter helps create this kind of community when it comes with your kitchen community and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because it keeps anyone that's anyone that says something like, "Oh man, that chat filter, I had to type like 4 times to get around it." I'm like, "Yeah, you're just getting blocked." So like, especially in the chef community where all the top chefs are friends with each other, that effectively deletes you from the room when you leave. Because you'll get put like you'll leave the room and someone else will come in and take your slot before you come back because they're blocked you.
True that. True that.
I wanted.
I
Oh yeah, sorry.
sorry, I just had an invasive thought, but it wasn't the bacon sandwiches, but it was the friends we made along the way.
Yes.
Exactly.
Amen to that.
It
Exactly.
really was. I just wanted to quickly ask how you approached your bounties because I've heard a couple of different ways about the really really competitive people. I think the average player should just jump in and do a couple of bounties every like just grab a swipe of bounties every 2 hours. But I wanted to know how the top players did it.
All right, so I think I'm gonna say the actually most efficient way to do it is to not do the bounties every time. You want to save up the ones that are worth the most, so stuff like the sentry and or things that are like in a line together work really well, like the dude at the hooked hand and the chick on Little Lucy. Those are
Mm-hmm.
two good ones because they're
Yeah.
decently like decent XP also like right in a line or the scrapyard. If you get one that's all
Yeah.
three of those, you can hook it. If you can, the ideal thing to do would be to stack one KP up and then go grab a bunch of those, like do them all in a line. And before you turn them all in, you pound an XP potion. So you're getting all that extra XP at once. I, of course, am a completely lazy sack of shit and did like none of that. I'm not running around. I'm not. I wasn't
Still
juggling
second.
XP potions.
Still second.
Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
like,
I don't
yeah.
use
I did
potions
not
either.
bank the bacon first. I was never like I'm not a person that ran stuff back and forth because if you look at it just logically, and this is most of what I did for my run because nobody had any of this information when I started. It was like, okay, when you go grab your stack of bacon and you bring it to the bank and you bank it, you've taken like 2 or 3 steps out of the way, and then when you go to pick that stuff up and go back to cook it, you're taking another like couple of steps. So ultimately, it just has to be slightly slower. Now, granted, if you're like banking up because you need to like go to the store and you're going to come back and cook like a bunch of bacon sandwiches, like, sure, man, absolutely. But if you just want to sit there and be a maniac and grind, you got to run to Kevin 11 every time, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
the fastest way.
The chat. What are you gonna do if you know, like in Cal's situation, if they start trading Black Santa hats behind your back because you're not in the room to stop them? What's gonna happen?
See, I don't have that problem because my goal with the Santa hats wasn't to collect one type.
You
It was to just see how many I can accumulate
just
through the
collect them
season.
all.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had like a couple days ago I counted I had almost 700, so I'm doing pretty well. I haven't broken 50 of one type yet. I'm closest at 47 yellow Christmas hats, but this is all just me grinding.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
thought is after the season, I figure anybody that wants to collect, I'll probably give them away because like I don't really care about anything except for the yellow one that helps me look like Homer Simpson. I just want like one of each, and I don't care about all these dupes, man. I'm not gonna be able to sell them or anything. And
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's cool. So what's your, like, just to settle this argument, because like people have said it's somewhere between half a level to a level an hour after 200. Is that the case?
uh, I want to say the average for a level after 200 for chef is probably closer to like 1.5 or 2 hours for most of the time, except for Bacon Mountain where it just gets, as we've discussed, it starts at like the normal, I would say like 1.5-ish, and slowly but surely goes up to just stop paying attention because you don't want to know how much you're playing the game and not getting a level.
True
Oh,
that, true that.
Karashta, I feel like you would like understand the pain, but something happened to me the other day where I set up my passive and I went to bed and then I went to work. I was gone for about 20 hours from the game and I logged back in and I found out that 8 hours into my passive, I ran out of crates.
Oh my God, crates? Are you like out of everything you could have run out of, you ran out of crates?
I ran out of crates and I told everyone in the kitchen it was my 13th reason why.
I
Oh my
honestly
God.
completely forgot crates even existed. I bought 999 of them like forever ago, and until you said anything, I forgot they were a thing in the game.
I immediately trauma bought 999
Good.
crates.
I would have absolutely done the same exact thing.
So-
One thing I don't like, and I wish they would change, is the garlic herring passive is absolute garbage. Like every other passive, you get somewhere between like 12 and 24 hours of just it giving you XP. The garlic herring is 6. The max you get is 6. So like if you want that, if you're gonna min max, you have to be up in 6 hours to get your garlic herring.
That is, yeah. What?
I don't know. I
Yes,
feel like
because
it's
super
best-
it's a
such
double
so
item
bad.
and double speed. So
I feel like there's like
Oh.
a decimal point somewhere that somebody messed up because like no other
Hmm.
passive and anything else that I'm aware of really is like that, right? Like normally it's you fill the bag and you get at least 12 hours for stuff, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I actually rely on the one ingredient passives because I am away from my computer during the week for 20 hours at a time. And so that's something I'm actually like nervous about is as I unlock the later passives post 200, like I'm only going to be unlocking the 12-hour passives and I'm like, well that's going to be 12 hours of lost XP or 10
still
hours of
gonna-
lost XP.
You're still going to want to do the highest level one, even if it
Yeah.
seems like it's less, because there's I forget what the cutoff is. As soon as you get the higher passive or you're above a certain level, that lower passive gets cut off after like 4 hours and gives you like way less XP, and it's basically just a waste of your time.
it gives half experience, and then when you get even further past it, it gets like like 87% less experience. It's actually a problem which I want to raise eventually, but maybe after Christmas because I don't think they're gonna see it. Well, thanks.
Well-deserved Christmas break.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for coming on, Karashta. It's been actually really, really good joy to hear from you guys. Good luck on your future goals of playing the game normally. I assume that you're just going to play the game normally at this point.
Yeah, at this point, I figure I'm gonna just kind of walk around. I feel like there will be a lot of 200 capes in my future and a lot less 500 capes.
I agree.
Yeah,
Understandable.
find
Understandable.
another one that
I'm not
just
even
is,
sure
like,
I'll ever
fits
get a
me.
500. It's actually crazy
don't
unless I
blame you.
fully passive
Yeah.
it.
Do not blame you at all. No, thank you very much for having me on.
No, it was
See you,
awesome.
Karashta.
Any shout outs or anything like that you want to give out?
Shout outs to Shulk. Shulk is great.
Awesome.
Seriously, that's basically it. Shulk is great. Everybody, go into the kitchen and say hello. And he's 11 levels, I think, from getting the
Hey,
third 500.
nice.
That should be this weekend then. Really cool.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. It seems like the next day or so he should have it probably.
Yeah. Shulk's,
Yeah, he did predict Sunday, so
Shulk's been really awesome to chat to in Discord, and they've been flooding the chat as well. I've been watching it. It's been great. Really good chat. Well, thanks for coming on. I'm going to switch over to Sanai now, who was our world first 500. Thanks, Karashta.
Hey, Kashta.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye.
bye.
Sanai.
Hello.
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 Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. A bit tired from moving all day, but it's fine.
Yeah. You were literally, so we organized this. Sanai was on a flight like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Live while we were alive.
But I got
So-
home, so
Got home. No delays. Really awesome to have you on.
Yeah. thanks for
So-
having me.
Absolutely. Tell us about merchant. In my opinion, the hardest skill in the game. I'd love to hear more about it.
Merchant thing. It's probably the funnest skill. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest, it's like the one skill that's totally not AFK. I mean, you can AFK it, but it's pretty pretty bad if you do. It's just like, I think the only skill that you can kind of speed up if you do it correctly, or if you apply like a really good tactic on it.
Yeah.
Which there are probably like tens of tactics that people can use. But I was able to get it to like the speed of combat. So it was like at the same level as combat, almost like 45 minutes per level ish, 40, 45 minutes.
That's really fast.
So it went
'cause
really, really
usually
quick.
it's about an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got it. You didn't get it. You got this like a week ago or something, didn't you? When did you hit 500?
15 days ago.
Wow. Okay.
It's been that long. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 days. I'm still walking into the merchant guild, by the way, every day.
just habitually, or
yeah, it's just muscle memory. Like every time I teleport to the market, I'll just, instead of selling my hides, I'll go to the board.
Yeah.
So what are you doing since getting 500 merchant? Like,
I just instantly dove into the 500 leatherworking grind.
Really?
Yeah. I have this goal for myself, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be the first, but I want to have a platinum. And looking at how people are making, no, I mean like a platinum in coins. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to be the first in that. That was kind of my goal that I set out for myself. I want to just make as much money as I can. And people said leatherworking was good money, so I went to look at it. And then I was like, but you need merchant. So I might as well do merchant first.
Oh, so this started ages ago. You're just like, I want to get a platinum day one. I'm like, I'm going to get a platinum. Now you just finished your merchant. So now it's back to, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So how much money did you get from doing 500 merchant without spending it?
I spent a lot on pots because I bought 6% pots because I really wanted to be the first one.
Gotcha.
And I was racing, so I had to like just go all out.
Yep.
I think I had like around 500 from merchanting alone.
500 gold?
But then I bought like 12,000 potions, so it's down to 300.
Not 1,200.
12,000.
12,000.
12,000 6% pots, yeah.
What?
A little bit over 200 gold in potions. Oops.
How many do you have left?
I have 800 left.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did you just pop one every time you like traded something?
Every 2 minutes, kind of. Just every 2 minutes I popped a pot. Yeah. Just every time it was available. Of course, like there's like runs in between where it's like 30 seconds of no potion, but probably every time.
Do you know how many you had at the end of your merchant grind? So, because obviously you've been using it for leatherworker.
I think I used like 9,500 for merchanting.
All right. That's
I started using it really early on. Like as soon as I got to the point where, that was my tactic, right? I just ran with a pot in my inventory most of the time, and I only dropped it when I really needed 4 slots. For bounties. So I just always had a pot with me, and I just popped it because I was like counting, and I was like 1.8 billion XP. 5% or 6% of that is like going to be 10 levels at the end of the grind. So I might as well start popping potions, and I'll have 10 levels of profit, which is like half a day.
Yeah, it sounds redundant to say out loud, but it basically saves you 6% of time, which it like I said, it sounds redundant, but in a game where it's like it is literally 45 minutes per level, that is a very rigid and calculated amount. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did the
oh yeah.
Sorry, I just did the math on 12,000 potions, and it's about 16.6 days worth of potions. Like literally, if you do
like 2 minutes. Yeah, that's great.
It's literally 16 days worth of potions.
From 0 to like 500 is just popping potions all the time.
That's crazy. Ironically, I don't use potions for merchant because I find them frustrating to use. So take us through the process. I think like you've obviously got this locked in. So
the process. So I used like the dropping tactic, which a lot of people like. There's people that dislike it and there's people that love it. And I think since the drop all, a lot more people started using it. Like you buy bounties, even if you don't have the bounty, you'll still buy the goods. So you drop it at the merch guild. If you get the bounty, you like deliver it really easily. And then you plan routes and you plan ahead of time to make sure that you have everything like dropped almost, or at least like the really hard to get things, you'll make sure you have them on the ground so that you can instantly pick them up and then just deliver them easily. Like it saves a lot of time if you just buy whenever you can. It's like overbuying is what I called it, kind of.
Yeah. We've heard of that, and yeah, it does change it. I definitely would like to do it with drop all instead. Which recipes do you do it? You do it with things like pumpkins and stuff, where your turn in is close, but the vendor is far, or everything, or
just I guess almost everything, but I did it for like the south route. You have like vases and purple clots. Those are like not vases, green wines and purple clots, and those are like easy to deliver in middle. So basically, whenever I went south, I would deliver everything and TP back to board because I don't want to miss a board. Missing a board is not done. Not in my like I was really OCD. I had like a timer going every 2 minutes. I really wanted to see the board.
This is the mindset of a world first 500 merchant, and this is exactly what I wanted to bring. I love every second of this. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a timer, you have a board timer, and you're like, I'm not gonna miss this board, right?
Exactly. Like I'd rather miss a bounty than miss a board. That's something that I just told myself every time.
Wow.
And like if you pick up something south, you'll overbuy what you need middle or north, so that every time you go to a route, like for me, south, middle, or north, I would already have it dropped on the ground, and it's just easily like delivered together with the easier things that you pick up. There's postcards, there's burgers, there's beef joints, there's meats. Those things are like all in the same kind of routes that you're already running, so it makes it like really easy to pick them up and instantly deliver them. But if it was in a different route, I'd be having it dropped on the ground so that I can deliver it in a different route, basically.
That's crazy. While the kitchen people dream of bacon sandwiches, you're dreaming of soap.
And bounties and the board. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you ever like lose any of the materials because you just didn't get lucky with the bounty?
Yeah, I think I must have lost like 10 gold worth of goods that I just had on the ground that constantly went away because I didn't do the redropping tactic. Like nowadays you have drop all, so you can pick all up and then drop all again, so it refreshes. And for me, like I started getting like carpal tunnel in my wrist just dropping my goods all the time. So and I think I lost around like I'm gonna say like 1,000 pots because I carried like stacks of 400, 500 potions, and I would drop them sometimes, and then I'd forget where I dropped them because I was just awake for 18 hours a day. And then like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I don't have my potions. Where are they? And then I have to run around Chronopolis trying to find my potions. So I probably lost like 1,000 potions.
Yeah.
Which is also a lot of money.
Yeah, I came across a little bit of a tactic where it's like I would overbuy. Soap was a good example. I'd overbuy it, and then I'd go turn in 2 soap bounties, and I'd drop some soap by the soap vendor, and then buy what I need to buy from him. Did you do much of that, or were you literally just buying far, dropping it merchant guild?
I'm always dropping at merchant board. I try to drop at the vendor, but then I'd forget that I have it dropped, go buy it anyway, and then come on the vendor, and I'll see it on the ground, and then I'll be like, oh, well, that was a waste of time.
Okay, so you just found it more consistent.
Yeah.
To do merchant board. Okay.
Like seeing what you have is like easier when you're on the board.
So how much stuff on the ground did you have stacked up?
Well, not over 100 because the drop cap is 100.
Well, there's a drop cap. There you go.
Yes. Yeah. So after 100 things, random like things will disappear from other stacks. So it kind of gets
not
messy.
100 in one stack. It's 100 in all of your dropped items.
Yeah, and it's everywhere. Like if you drop 50 pieces at the soap vendor and then you drop 60 pieces at the merchant guild, you will lose 10 pieces from the things you dropped at the soap vendor. They will disappear there as well.
That's
so
crazy.
It's not just per map. Yeah.
So it's just in general. So would that also work if things dropped from say like combat and then you went and dropped things yourself? Would that also count for it? I mean, obviously,
I would think so. That it's like
yeah.
That's
This is-
crazy.
But it
is
doesn't
stuff I
work that way
never-
with pots. You can drop a stack of 1,000 pots and it
True.
counts as one.
Right.
Because it's one
So
inventory
stacks for
slot
one.
rather than
Yeah.
yeah.
This is stuff that I never would have even thought of. Like
No, I
a
know.
drop cap.
Yeah.
Like what?
Oh,
I
by the
do
way,
love
Sanai found the
merchant.
drop cap before we had drop all. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and
Kels.
somehow got 500 merchant before drop all. That's crazy. That is
And before the buy 6. Sadly. I had my last evening I had buy 6 and I just started like was it the last evening? I think maybe 3 days. And I started just misclicking. Instead of I pressed like 5-1 every time, and now like it was 10-1. So I constantly bought 11 things.
sorry, Kels, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying that I've noticed that all 3 of my favorite skills or professions are all ones that have some sort of bounty system. So 1, chef, 2, merchant, 3, detective with the investigations. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just like it's almost like that old school, like, give me quest, I do quest, I come back.
The little mini side quests we get from bounties, including chef. It's why chef is one of my favorite professions, and merchant is. I just haven't had the time to lock into it like friggin' God King Sanai here.
I'm not the only one anymore.
Bounties.
There's multiple now.
There's multiple catching up, or let me just check the board
No,
right
now. They're not on the leaderboard, but there are multiple.
Okay, so there are 500. Wait.
Yeah, there is. I was racing someone, and
Okay,
he got
but
500.
You know
For
there
sure.
was a ban wave, right?
Yeah, but those
don't-
guys
you
are
don't-
not banned.
Okay.
No,
okay.
no, they were 100% hidden.
Okay, good. Okay. I was like, there's no way, right? So do you know why they might have opted out? Didn't get first? Too bad.
I'm not
Hell?
going to say their names because like I just know
they're
them.
opted
Like,
out. That's
yeah,
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. One guy's a friend, and he opted out because he just wanted to get like 500, and he felt like just hiding and just grinding it on his own and just being focused. And then the other guy was racing me. When the leaderboard came out, was it 27th of November, I think? I was like, I'm probably going to be first. Like, there's no lunatic that has spent 18 hours a day merching right now. Like, there's no way. If there's someone ahead of me, he started earlier. So I was skeptical, and everyone was saying like, yeah, you're first. Don't worry about it. You're going to be first. And then a guy opts in, and he's 15 levels ahead of me.
Oh.
At 300. So I was 300, and he was like 318. So
Is this before
I was
or
like,
after your 18-hour days?
this was, I mean, I kind of did I didn't really do 8. I did like 14, 15-hour days.
Okay. It's pretty focused profession, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yes. So he opted in, and I was like, oh God, here we go. And my heart just sank because like you just like you're so hardcore into the grind, and you really want to make it. And I was like, am I really going to sacrifice like my sleep and everything just to get this going now? And then he opted out, and that was like, okay, that's like my go signal. Not like it was like,
Oh.
you're getting beaten now.
He opted
like,
out, so you're just like, I'm gonna say opted in. I'm gonna beat your ass anyway.
He opted in for a minute, and I was just
you
like,
see.
okay, yeah.
He let you
Teased you
know
with
that. Yeah, he let you know that he was on your ass. Is what
He
it
made a
is.
mistake, is what he did.
was 15 levels ahead of me.
He was like, this guy was like, I want to check the merchant leaderboard. Meanwhile, Sanai was checking at the same time, and that was the biggest mistake he made.
I mean, we don't know. He hasn't opted in since.
Correct.
So
the patch might come out, and you might be number 2.
if it is the case,
hope
then
not.
all respect to him. But as soon as like the leaderboard dropped, the day after that, I just prepared and I did 50 hours of merching, nonstop.
50?
Yeah,
50.
50.
50.
Yeah, I wanted to get ahead of him.
No sleep?
My mind was just no sleep, just 50 hours. I just wanted to get ahead of him.
You know exactly what you want, and you just go for it. That's so good.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm just gonna. I have my food prepped. I have everything. I have water. I didn't drink caffeine because I knew that would just crash me.
Yeah.
And I just wanted it. And then like after that 50 hour, I just kept on doing like 18-hour days to get 20 levels a day. And and then I crashed at 495. So when I got 495, I was like, I can't possibly make these last 5 levels because I'm just like I'm just dead. So I went to bed, slept for 5 hours, woke up, did like 3.5 more hours, finished it up, got 500, and it was over. And then I think 2 weeks later is when I saw that person that was hiding with a 500 cape. So I think he got it after me, because I saw him like 3 days before I got it, and he was not ahead of me. And I know this because I was counting his total level. So I knew his total level when he was 318, and I saw his total level now, and I just knew that he was maximum like 470, 480. He could never be like 500. That might be a little bit try hard or stalky, but like I just wanted to like, and he was fully hidden as well. No name, but I knew it was him. Like you can just tell that he was grinding the same amount of hours as me, and I knew it was him.
I mean, you'd see each other at the merchant place,
yeah,
like, guild. You'd see each other all the time. Every time
Yeah.
you walk
If
past
he-
each
if
other,
he's
you lock
watching
eyes
this,
like,
hello.
I see you, motherfucker.
But like I actually wanted to chat with him. I would have loved to just talk and just have a race. That's what I really wanted. I told people that as well. Like I want to just like discuss tactics and share how fun merching is, because I've made so many friends merching. We still talk like every day, and it's just like a really, really nice. I mean, it's not a community like it's one room, but it's just you meet people. Everyone
you see
asks
each other all the
questions
time,
and-
so you add each
Yeah.
other, I imagine, right?
yeah, and then you just start talking.
Every single person who has done a 500 that we have brought on has had the same experience in the community aspect, and I fucking love that. I really do, and that is awesome. This whole story is so awesome. I'm glad that you shared it with us. Thank you for sharing it with us. I don't think I have any questions. Yeah.
I'm just glad that you're now found something that's not going to give you like any kind of RSI. I'm just happy that you can give your wrist a break, because my goodness, that is some amazing effort. Well done.
Thank you.
Honestly, respect. I mean, I've seen you in my chat before, and I didn't realize how unhinged you were.
Whoops.
Just 50 hours. That just you're nuts. I mean, you're great, but you're nuts.
Yeah, well, I really needed it. Like I was not letting it slip. No,
I respect that. It's the hustle. You, my friend, are a hustler.
Yeah.
Not
this time. That's really great, because there's two responses to seeing someone 15 levels higher than you, and it is 1, I can't get it, or 2,
let's fucking go.
I'm getting it.
Let's lock in.
It's locking a clock,
That's awesome.
Crazy.
I even bought a treadmill to place under my desk, so I could like standing desk and walk, so I could like keep myself moving while I grinded.
Yeah. Did you use it?
Yeah. Like 2-3 hours a day. Like I would,
Where's
because it like
you'd say if I start taking notes.
like if I didn't move for like 20 hours, I would like my body would just feel dead the next day. So
yeah, no, I mean, that's.
You also have like a little pot of like grass next to you, so you can touch some grass at the same time.
I had to let my dog out sometimes. Like
okay,
yes,
that counts.
Touch grass.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so glad that we could record this, and for like the history kind of thing, like because people can go back and see how'd this guy get world first 500 merchant? Well, he fucking earned it. That's what he did. So
hopefully first.
Yes, yeah, we'll see.
Wood.
We'll see.
You're first in our heart now.
Absolutely. Where are you, second or first? Come out.
Are you afraid of
watching this? Yeah.
Do it now.
Awesome. Did anyone have any questions? I think that kind of Sanai just smashed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question. Just deep
just
awe and a little bit of a little bit terrified as well.
Yeah. What else can he accomplish? Watch out, leather workers. Absolutely. Are you gonna go for Kren number 1 then? Or are you good, you think?
I don't think I'll be like I'm definitely gonna get like full Crino, but
Okay.
I don't
So you're
think
gonna
I'll
you
be
get
able
full
to
cren.
grind it.
Yeah.
I have like a week off now where I won't touch the game as much because it's like Christmas holidays and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like if it's all like you just kill yourself going for the
Mhm.
grind, right? Like if I have to do this 3 more times, I don't know.
So it's
I'm just
more
gonna hit
like
the platinum.
yeah, just get the platinum and maybe like just push cren and do raids and just naturally see
Yeah.
what place you get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Any shout outs or anything like
Fun.
that?
I want to shout out to Feathers, who was like on the early grind of merchanting with me. She
Mhm.
was going crazy on the leaderboards. Like everyone always told me, like you need to like Feathers is ahead of you before the leaderboards came out. Like she's really high on merchanting. So I added her and we shared tactics, and it was like so fun. And I also want to shout out to the tannery because I'm a leatherworker now.
Yeah, it's your crew now.
I think I saw some tanners in chat. They were like pogging.
I'm gonna be 300 today on that one. So
wow, absolutely crazy. What's your total?
My total is 13 something, 1360, I think.
Wow, I'm like miserably low. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome.
It was nice meeting you and putting a face to the username.
Absolutely.
I will be in Twitch chats.
Yeah, we will see you around. Absolutely. I saw you in my chat earlier too. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
we'll see you around, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Sanai.
Bye.
All right, let's see what you guys are up to. You're
cooking doors.
Guess what happened to me? So I was doing scout, and I leveled up so much that the thieves that I was fighting, the bandits I was fighting, ranked up, and I didn't notice.
Oh no!
Instantly died. Went back. I was like, oh, I don't know. That's weird. Went back, fought them again, died instantly. Wait a minute. What's going on here? So I'm not going to be locked in enough to be able to figure out what I need to fight next. So I'm just going to stand around town and maybe people can say hello.
Come join me cooking.
Very nice.
I'll go join kitchen chat.
And crash kills.
Yeah. See, this is Den raids don't have the community, man. There's no Den raid community.
There is not. Yeah.
Hell, we're not friends.
No, we are not friends actually.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Wow.
Not me now.
Well, I have to wait until I'm done cooking, or else I'm gonna XP waste here. Hold on.
Facts.
So, we do need to wrap up a little bit soon, but I think we're having a great time. So I'll quickly, and we also had a little bit of a technical difficulty earlier. Don't worry about that. I had some Q&A questions for you, Kels.
Okay.
Kels the Mod, question for Kels the Mod from Blackbane. Noticed in a recent stream she was almost 200 chef. During this journey, do you check the bounty board every hour? And what's your opinion on bounties, efficiency or otherwise?
So up until about 190, I did not do bounties.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I did bounties from like levels 9 to 20 when you unlock it, and I did it for that span of time, and then I got sucked into the veggie stew cult and just did veggie stews nonstop until 50. And then I just kept going and going and going. And then I then realized, I forget who I was watching. Someone was doing cooking, and I saw that the bounties obviously scale the XP as you level up. And I'm like, crap, I'm missing out on a lot of XP. I'm such an idiot. And so then I did start doing the bounties every hour, trying to. I do lose track of time sometimes. And I'm still learning. So Shulk was actually helping me in my chat today with explaining like the best strats to do. And it's just a learning experience. I think they are efficient if you know how to do them the right way. Like Shulk was, and Karashta too, was explaining like try and grab bounties, near Little Lucy, the scrapyard, the hooked hand, so you can just turn them all in at once. Rocky Road, if you have a Rocky Road bounty, grab those. Those are the highest XP. And I am on a Rocky Road drought. I haven't had a Rocky Road bounty in like 3 days now. I don't know if like Andrew Gower is just sabotaging me right now, but it feels like it. But yeah, bounties, I like them. And there is a strategy to doing them. You just kind of have to figure it out as far as what's the most efficient way. But yeah, I like them. So good question.
Cool. We had one more from Sanai. Did you experience the pineapple tour in Chronopolis yet? I don't know what this means.
I don't know what this means either. It's the second time I've been asked. I have not experienced the pineapple tour. I've been told to look for someone named Twisty and request the pineapple tour, and I am scared.
That sounds exciting. All right, there you go. So find Kels in the kitchen and just drag her on this pineapple tour. I don't know anything about this, so
I don't either. I'm just as lost as you are.
Generally, don't think I even want to know. So I'm more worried than anything. The other working crew are unhinged. So
they're cooked too.
They're very unhinged.
All I'm saying is we know one had one really big false ban, and it was from that community. They got it fixed, Ryan. But I'm just saying. I had a couple of other community notes here from just like jokes and other community creations that I wanted to share with everyone. This guy made Hopeport in Neverwinter Nights 2. Basically he does looks like he does map editing for like making RuneScape clones and stuff. And just putting the RuneScape world into Neverwinter Nights. And this is what he's got. He's got Hopeport in here. Which is really funny to see.
Actually gorgeous.
Yeah. There's the kitchen. Kel's in there.
Oh wow.
Wow.
It's so weird to see it like this. Yeah. Wow. The obelisk is like 1-to-1.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So impressive.
I didn't actually see all of
I would play that game. I would play.
You play this game? Yeah.
I would play this game.
The town over there looks really cool. I really like the town over there.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah.
It's literally like everyone knows exactly where he is as well. Like
yeah. And it looks like that door is clickable.
Yeah.
These are the walls. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Walls.
There's your ladder, Kels. It's your favorite ladder.
Oh.
Yeah. It's your favorite thing.
I fucking hate that ladder.
Unfortunately, if anyone's listening to the stream, basically they won't see it. But yeah, they've remade it 3D in Neverwinter Nights 2. Water looks great. The ships look awesome too. Really cool. I love this kind of stuff. I'd
fish there.
Yeah, I'd fish there. Look at that water. I bet the fish tastes better in Neverwinter Nights than in.
Wait, are there lobster pots too? Go back.
No, I don't know.
Nah,
I'm not in control here. He's gone back here.
I like that they're wearing RuneScape armor as well. And
probably from his
cape and everything.
RuneScape edit.
Yeah.
The pots
That's
on the right
so cool.
side. Oh, there's a little spot for them.
Yeah.
So he's done that. Adding his progress pictures and stuff. Yeah, really cool.
Mind blowing.
And I think mostly just have jokes. This one, Kels, relates to you.
So there was actually a situation. I don't know if you guys have seen him around in the Twitch community. His name is Zohan or Zohan. And there was a day where a goblin started to aggro on me as I was going to deliver a bounty at the walls. And Zoan just jumped in and started attacking it. And I was just like, thank you. You saved me. Oh, it was great. It's so true. Like if you see people who do not have armor on running through the walls, save them, protect them, please.
Unfortunately, with the banned bots, this happens more commonly now. Unfortunately, getting attacked by goblins. Bring back the bots.
Please, just for the zone.
Just for that zone. Here's more botting stuff. I was wrongly banned for macroing. Please reverse. Macros are important for people with disabilities. Okay, I'm macroed, but shouldn't be perm banned. Temp only, and macroing should be allowed. I have a life and jobs and kids now. This is really good. Obviously, it's satire. I'd like to touch on this part. There was actually a comment from Sam where in the main Discord where someone was like, hey, I have a specific disability gamepad, and Sam reached out to them and made sure that their peripheral was not going to be affected. So if you do experience a disability that makes you have to use different types of peripherals that would be less common, just reach out to support and explain the situation, and they would be more than happy to make sure that it's considered. So, but yeah,
education is key.
Yeah, and just you won't get in trouble if you macro. Like you only get in trouble if you macro. But if it's 1-to-1, then it should be fine. I forgot what I had these. Yes, all praise vegetable stew.
Hey, look, it's literally Kells with the Black Santa hat as well.
Oh god.
My avatar has blue hair.
Oh yeah. True. I love that though.
Getting a skill cape after you've KP'd since level 20. This is too real. For the Den Raiders, for the chefs. Look at Smarty. He's cracking up. He's done exactly this.
Me with my 100 blacksmithing. I got this.
I got 100 bone right. Same thing, dude. I haven't touched the damn thing since like level 25. Other to go in to make a weapon for myself, leave immediately.
That's beautiful.
Oh man.
The pink Santa hat got changed, and the description changed as well. Santa, but with an alternate color, which is definitely not pink. I thought it was worth mentioning this because everyone was so upset. This hat's not pink. This hat's not pink. Like, it was like, fucking fine. Shut up.
Let us have pink Santa hats, please. It's
I
fine.
thought it was purple. Am I colorblind?
I mean, it is, but it's a lot more purple than it is.
Fuchsia is just purple. Like, it's purple.
It's purple.
Fuchsia.
I think they don't want to have two purple hats.
Yeah.
But they were happy to have two pink hats, apparently.
And then the classic, I'm not salty, I swear, with the pro players versus the new players. All I'm saying is Sanhai's room didn't look mint. He looked mint.
No,
did not look like this at all. Man takes care of himself.
Man is elaborate with life.
But this is this is why I'm low level. 100%. Too much
touching grass.
Yeah. Everyone better than me is a bot. Everyone worse than me is just bad at the game.
Yeah.
Like I count myself as like a casual, like noob player, and like even I spend way too much time away from my loved ones where they made comments about it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta get to the next level.
I'm lost in the shores.
Oh dear. Well, I think that's about everything. Actually, there's one more scene got to add. That's unfortunate.
Sanai said that his mess is behind his camera.
Oh yes,
it's on the corner of the room.
All right, to quickly just change something here. How is your grinds going?
It is going.
I'm nearly at the next raid, which is always the most annoying part because I actually have to pay attention to get gear and try not to die for the first like 5 to 10 levels of the raid.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it should be all good. I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent.
I've gotten about 5 cooking levels today.
I don't even know what scout level I am. All I know is I can't do it anymore. So I have to do something, do a different mob. I wanted to let everyone know, absolutely thank you for watching. This has been the Tales from the Shores podcast. This stream was brought to you completely ad-free by the community, the Tales Tribe community. Anyone who joins or pays a soft coffee subscription gets a shout out. As you can see, there's 2 of them. So everyone at Lyakin and everyone at Kells the Mod in Discord or in chat and say thanks for bringing this stream ad-free, because it was absolutely up to them. I appreciate all of you. Just, I appreciate Lyakin and Kells the Mod a little bit more. Everyone else. Thank you for watching. Kells and Sparty, do you want to sign off, please? Go ahead.
Go for it, Kells.
What am I supposed to say?
I'm Kells the Mod. This is my stream. It's been great to have you all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, hi, I'm Kells the Mod. Thanks for watching. And you can find me on Twitch at Kells the Mod. All one word. Yep. And I'll
Link is
probably
in the
be streaming
description.
after this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I won't be. I don't do that.
You're gonna buy that life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's same thing. Not Kells the Mod, Spuddy MC on Twitch. I also want to just take a minute to thank Tel for the amount of work that he does to bring these podcasts and community together. The man the frog puts in quite a bit of effort that goes behind the scenes. So do give him the well-deserved respect and following.
I genuinely
everything.
just love the community. I just want to highlight I do it. I have so much fun doing this. That's more important to me. So it's like, I just want to, I like to bring it to people ad free and that stuff. So it helps support. Yeah. But I just 100%. Do this. It's so fun. This has been a great day and I look forward to the next one.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you so much. It's been absolutely a pleasure.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Thank everyone. Thank you all for watching and have a great rest of your evening or day or night. See ya.
Awesome.
Bye.